Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy entrepreneurs, professionals, and business owners publish to grow their businesses and to leave a legacy. We're doing a series of spotlights on remarkable experts across the country and in your town. Joining me on this segment is Ashton Tate, and he's the founder of Glory to Glory Fitness. Ashton, welcome to the program.
What's up, my man? Great to be here.
Ashton, tell us a little bit about your work and specifically the types of folks that you help.
Yeah, man. So, we help, people who are successful in business, leadership. They own their own company. They're a leader in someone else's company. And so we essentially partner with them to outsource their health. A lot of people, especially that are successful, their health can tend to be put on the back burner sometimes because they're grinding, they're hustling, and so we help them, outsource their health to us to take that burden off of them and to use their health as an asset to actually get better at everything else that they're doing as well. So it's super fun, man. I love it.
Awesome. What are some of their biggest challenges? Is it mostly time, or what challenges have you found people have when they come to see you?
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of the time too, it's the busyness. They're growing a company, they've had some sort of success, right? But they end up, everything comes before their health. They've kind of had to put everything else in front of it because they thought that they didn't have time, like you said, to really take care of themselves and to walk in health, to eat right, to focus on those things, to have the right amount of sleep, to get movement for their body. And so they've put everything in front of that. And what they don't realize is that, their health, if they steward it right, they partner with how their body was made, it can actually be an asset to them, to help them be more productive during their day. And a lot of people have really low energy levels. They have a lot of different pains. A lot of people have different things like diabetes and things like that are totally preventable. Weight issues, confidence issues that kind of can affect the deals and things that they can go through for them. So there's so many different things that people can deal with that they think that, oh, I have to be in this perfect place to take care of my health. But really, if you take care of your health can help you and kind of give you the edge over everybody else in your industry. So
as a busy person myself, I know that the challenge can be like, often people try to take care of their fitness on their own. And whether they do it right or not, or whatever, what are some of the benefits of working with a professional like you to overcome these challenges with fitness?
yeah, totally. So, like everybody in business knows the concept of opportunity cost, right? Like we want, especially as we get more successful, like when we were smaller, when we were just by ourselves, like we may have worn 50 different hats, right? But now, as people get more and more successful, they have to delegate more and more. They have to focus more and more on the things that they themselves can only do, that they themselves are really good, what's in their wheelhouse. And so in the same way that you would outsource marketing, if you don't know what you're doing with Facebook ads or marketing or whatever, you're not going to go in and try to learn all of that and do it yourself because your wheelhouse is over here. And for every second and every moment that you spend doing this, you can't really do those things that move the needle forward. And so with health, there's no doubt, that if someone really, really wanted to, they could figure some of the stuff in health out on their own, but it would take thousands of dollars, take countless hours that they could be pouring into the things that they really do well, and then just offloading that to someone else, hence me, to be able to do those things for them, to teach them how to think about that, to offload their decisions and help them fit everything into their schedule, all those things, because there's a lot of mental energy that goes into that if you're spending mental energy on your health, you're not going to be able to fully have that tank full for everything else that you're doing.
When it comes time to, staying healthy and getting fit, are there a lot of myths or misconceptions out there that people trying to do it themselves find themselves sort of caught in that trap with? Any myths or misconceptions that you've heard?
Yeah, man. There's so many. I honestly hate like most of the health industry. Like it's so confusing. Everybody wants to take advantage of people. You think about the fact that there are more trainers, more health coaches, more supplement companies, more all of that than there's ever been in history. But yet our health as a nation and in the world really is by far worse than it's ever been. And so there's so much confusion out there. Sometimes the more information So a lot of times people, oh, I can just go out and find something on bodybuilding.com or go Google it or go do whatever. And it's like, maybe you can, but sometimes the more information that you take in, the more confused that you'll be, because this says this and this says you should do that and this says that you should do this. And there's so many different diets and so many different things that people try to do. And you have to have your health anchored to deeper things. You have to know the why behind what you're doing and anchor your health to those deeper things rather than just trying to do. Because most business leaders, business owners, they're doers. They grind, they like to hustle, they kill it, right? But you can't outwork the wrong tactics in your health. And so being able to be that person rather than just trying to do every new thing and try to get quick results that doesn't end up being sustainable. So building that foundation in your health so that you can actually be able to do those things that you're doing now 15, 20, 30 years into the future. It might look a little different, but actually being able to sustain and have a foundation rather than building your health on the sand to where the first thing that comes in, the first level of busyness or family troubles or whatever, you end up getting knocked off the horse. That tells me that people don't have a solid foundation. So
speaking of tactics that you mentioned, I've seen some folks, busy executives, that they try to get a handle on their fitness on their own, and they don't seem to make any progress. They don't seem to ever change. Are there any pitfalls or mistakes that you see people make with their fitness when they try to do it on their own that keep them from having success?
Oh yeah, I mean, again, like a lot of times people, like when we do anything, a lot of times we'll take action on something just to tell ourselves that we did something, even if it's not the right thing, and so asking that ourselves that question of, do I actually know what I'm doing? Because a lot of times people will try to do stuff on their own, and they'll do what they heard their cousin Sally did to lose some weight, or they'll hear on this commercial that X, Y, and Z did, or they'll do Nutrisystem for a little bit, but as soon as they don't have that Nutrisystem, or as soon as they hit their goal, they fall off of everything. And so I have a really awesome training on that too. It's called the 5 mistakes that most business leaders are making in their health. That's super helpful that I can get into people's hands too. But there are so many different areas where if you don't have the right things that you're doing and you're not doing them for the right reasons, you're not going to be able to sustain it. And sometimes going up and down in weight and in health is actually worse for you than just being unhealthy, because your body doesn't know how to handle it. So
you hear a lot of things about nutrition, and what big of a role is it? Really 80-90% of everything is the nutrition. How big of a role is nutrition in the overall fitness and health?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not that it's more important than movement. It's complementary to it. So it's not I don't think the whole like 80-90 or 80-20 or any of that, you can't assign like a percentage to something. That's something that people said a while ago just to show people how important it is. But what I find a lot of times is people in their nutrition, they're focusing so much on the things that they don't need to have rather than the things they do need to eat. So I'll ask someone, hey, how do you eat? What does your diet look like? And they'll say, well, I don't have this. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat after this time. And it's like, well, you just told me a bunch of stuff that you don't do. Like, let's focus on what you do need to do. But nutrition plays a huge role in health, because you think about it, when you take in and when you ingest nutrients in the form of food, your body is taking that and it's literally building up your cells. It's building up everything in your body and making it out of what you just ate. So if you want to, if you want to eat a bunch of crap and you want to eat a bunch of junk, then that's what your body is going to be made of. And that's why we have all these health issues and excess fat and, different issues with blood sugar and all that stuff. So nutrition plays a huge role, but it's complementary to functional fitness rather than more important or less important. And each person too, some people may be really good with what they eat, but they don't know what they need to do in the gym. And then vice versa, it's where it's like, let's fill in the gaps that you need and tweak some of those small things that you can be doing in each area. And we break it down into a really simple framework to kind of help people think the right way about it.
That's really sage advice. Ashton, how did you get inspired to get into fitness and helping other folks? How'd you get started?
Yeah. Well, I was really fat.
No way.
I was really, oh yeah. Yeah. I was really overweight and, ended up losing the weight for the wrong reasons initially. And once I got down to the right weight, started seeing how good I felt. I didn't have heartburn anymore. I wasn't pre-diabetic. I was over 100 pounds overweight. And so just started maintaining things and changing everything about me, had greater confidence. And God really just did a huge work in my life in that point. And I saw that I can use my body to serve him and do the things that I'm called to do, even better than if I'm unhealthy. And then I started, maintaining that progress, and people knew me as the fat kid, right? And they're like, man, what the heck happened to you? Like, you lost the weight, but not only did you lose the weight, you actually maintained it for a couple of years. And so people just started asking for help and asking for help and asking for help. And so just kind of did, training and built up a business as kind of a side hustle while I was in school. And I graduated school multiple years ago and started doing this full time. I have a small team around me, and we have some really cool stuff in the works with schools, with businesses, with business leaders. So it's been a really fun journey. It's just humbling to understand that a lot of people in the health industry, it's like they're these super jacked guys that like you can't relate to. But it's like when I'm talking to someone who's overweight or is addicted to food or has these issues, it's like, no, I've literally been there. Like, I get it. Like, I can still struggle with that. I still have to make sure that I'm keeping control over what I'm doing. And so it really gives me that relatability to understand where people are coming from too. So it's been a fun journey, man.
That is absolutely terrific, Ashton. Congratulations on your success there. So how can folks that are tuning in right now connect with you? I'm sure they can really, as you mentioned, you've been there, and that's the type of folks they're looking to work with. How can folks find you, learn more, and connect with you?
Yeah, so a couple different ways. They can go to our website called glorytogloryfitness.com. They can book a consultation with me where essentially we'll take a deep dive into the things they've been doing, fill in the gaps, kind of get a game plan together for what that could look like specifically for them. They can find me on Facebook, just Ashton Tate. Just find me, my profile's on there. A lot of good free resources there. Or they can send us an email at hello@glorytogloryfitness.com. Pretty simple. We have a lot of really cool free resources out there for people, just to kind of help get them started, help get them clarity. It's so much more than just what you need to do. It's really teaching people how to think and shifting that mindset so that your actions just flow out of that. So always here to help people, always here to provide value, to serve people. And so those are a couple ways.
This has been absolutely terrific. Ashton, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your terrific insights with my audience today. And I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. This was fun.
Ashton Tate, founder of Glory to Glory Fitness. And this segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy entrepreneurs, professionals, and business owners publish to grow their businesses and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for tuning in.